Hi guys, and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be unboxing the starter fleet for Northern Alliance. Right, so here they are, Northern Alliance Varangur starter set for Kings of War Armada. I have been waiting for this for a very long time. Right, I took off the film so that I could take photos of it with it being less shiny, but there's an indication of some of the boats that you will find. And looking at the box art on the back, there we go. So 3 ships, 3 cards, all the rules cards, and hopefully the spells and tokens and all that sort of stuff as well. Right, so let's get this open. So here we have a couple of bags. So they've labelled them now. So we've got hulls and we've got sails. That's cool. Right, and then we got bags of stuff. So what looks like cards, a quick sneak peek. Ooh, that's interesting. Right, replacement cards. Okay, so it looks like they've had a printing issue and they've got a whole load of replacement cards, so I will do that off camera in a minute before we go through them. And then we got a small, a medium and a large base, and rules tokens depending on whether you're going to run this. I'm guessing as Northern Alliance or Varangur. Right, I'm quickly going to get those cards sorted out, figure out what they're about, and I'll be back in a jiff. Right, so what we have is a truly impressive number of cards. So the ones which I think everyone will want to see though are the ship cards. Serpent. So this is the large one. It's got each side a couple of close, a couple of heavies and 3 lights. It's got a red turning arc and it's moving force. So it's not super fast. It's got good nerve, good structure points, and most importantly it's got a crew strength of 6. It's got the special rule Ice Blast, which is if it causes 8 or more damage on an enemy ship from a single shooting attack, reduce the enemy's speed by 1. If it's anchored, add D3 damage instead. Right, so it's okay, it's not great, but it's pretty cool. So that's that. Right, then we've got the Drakkar, which is the medium. Got 3 lights, but most importantly, it's got ram, which is really cool, and it's got oars, and really interestingly, it's got crew strength of 7, so this is a boarding vessel. It's speed 6, which is a really good speed. Nerve and structure is okay, but I can see a few of these in a list. I think this is a really cool ship, so looking forward to that one. Cool. And finally, we've got the Snekya, which has got light oars, which is quite cool. So that is basically a bomb boat, for want of a better phrase. So that's going to be sitting off to one side and just trying to get things to catch on fire, essentially, I think, firing indirect shots. So I think that's what that's probably going to do. So it's nice and cheap, and so that serves a purpose. I think that's quite good. Right, so fleet rules. I'm just going to do the overall fleet rules. Northern Alliance can do this thing called Glide, which means once per activation, essentially you can go an extra 1 or 2 inches after one of its move steps if you pass a skill test, but you get +2 modifier, so that's good. So that's going to be on a 3 up, I want to say. So that's quite a good little thing. Right, retribution affects all ships in the fleet. If a ship loses a boarding action, the winning enemy ship immediately suffers deeply D3 +1. Okay, so basically even if you lose, you're still causing additional damage, which is quite an interesting one. So it's sort of encouraging people not to board their ships. Okay, that's cool. I'm not going to go through all the rest of the cards, but suffice to say that there are fleet upgrade cards for Northern Alliance, and there are fleet upgrade cards, 4 of them, for Varangur. So that's that. So you've got to buy the box to see what all they do. Okay, right, so that's that. There are other fleet rules which will be relevant to the other ships, but I will go through those when I get to, I'll do it now actually. So, Ice Can Assault. You guys can read, I'll let you read them quickly. And if you want to pause it when you get to it, then you can have a better read. So that's pretty cool. Right. Next up, we're going to have a look at the resin. Right, so onto these boats. Out we come. A little bit of flash, but otherwise looking pretty tidy. So that's the big guy. So clearly he's got something which is going to stick on the front there. You see the sails go in the top. He's got like side sails that go on this, so they'll go on there. Oh, sorry. That is quite a nicely cast piece of resin. There's a little bit of mould slippage, but not too terrible. Nothing that's not able to be cleaned up. Cool. So that's the big guy. So that's the large. It's quite cool in the fact that they're going to sit really low in the water, which I think is really cool. That's the medium, and again he's got something which is going to stick on the front. He's got his sails which is going to go on the top. There's a little bit of flash around it, but that's nothing really to worry about. But yeah, some cool little sort of Viking-y type details, which I really like that. I think that's really cool. But no, I really like how low in the water that's sitting, so that's really, really cool. And this is the little bomb boat, which again, it's a pretty cool thing. Oh, what's that? Trying to figure out where that's. Oh no, right. I think I'll have to look at the box art. Yeah, that's just to make it a little bit stronger. I was there going, oh, is that meant to be pointing? Is it broken off the back? No, it hasn't. So essentially, that's meant to be 2 sort of bits of bone. I guess you could cut down in between them to make them stick up, but that would make them really flimsy. So I think that's just, you just leave that in there just to keep it strong, or at least that's what I'm going to do. I'll paint that bit in the middle, I'll just paint it black, I think. But yeah, it's got oars. There's a little bit of bubbling around the bottom of the oars. Isn't a problem, bit of green stuff will fix that. And that's really cool. I like that. I've already got a plan how I'm going to paint these, so I'm going to get them done up really, really quickly because I'm going to be running a demo at the gaming club that I go to so I'm going to get someone else playing my elves, and I'm going to give these guys a run out. Right, okay, so that's the hulls. Let's have a look at the sails. Whoa, it's a big bag, this one. Ooh. Okay, that's quite cool. Okay, we've got everything. Yeah, that looks as though that's... Yeah. Okay, right, so lots of little bits and bobs. So a little bit of stuff coming apart in the bag, but that's not a problem. Right, okay, so we will start with, let's try and sort this out. Oh, that's really cool. Right. So I've got a couple of mainsails. So it looks like that big one is for the big guy. That one there is for the medium. Or not. No, that one's for the medium. Yeah, so you've got a small, a medium, and a large mainsail. Okay, so large one goes on the large one, medium on the medium, small on the small. Right. Then got, are these the same? They're not the same. Right, and again you've got what looks like a large, a medium, and a small triangular sail. Let's get these all sorted out. And then you've got another triangular sail, which I believe goes on the big guy at the back. That makes sense. Right, then we've got some weird fan type sails which go on the side of the big guy for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we've got some, oh, it looks like a bit of rib, bone or something. That's going to go somewhere, probably on the big guy. And then we've got prows for, that looks like for the big guy. Oh, that's cool. So they made a little hole in the top of it so you can get that the front sail in. That's very cool. And that's the head that goes on the front of the medium one, which it looks like there was a little air bubble in the horn there, so I might have to fill that a bit and shape it a bit just to get them even on either side. But otherwise, pretty good. Okay, that all looks like it's there. It all looks like it's in pretty good condition, and so yeah, I'm really happy with that. That's really good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get all this trimmed off and cleaned up, and then I will show you them up when they're all put together. So here they are, and they went together really easily. So a little bit of cleanup, clearly, a bit of trimming, washing release agent off. So all in all, probably took about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get it all done properly. But that's them there. I'm going to leave the sails off just for painting because they're just a bit of a faff to get in the way. But you'll see from what I've done here on the little one. So essentially exactly the same as I did with my elf boats. What I've done is I've dropped a pin all the way through so I've drilled up through the mast up to beyond where it joins with the sail. So it's a nice strong piece, because my concern is always with these models that this piece here is probably the weakest part of the model. So I always drill up as far as I can, put a pin in, drill all the way through the body of the ship. That then goes through, and then it sits just a little bit proud, which then secures it into the base. Of course, mark the base so you know which way is up and which is down. But that's what I've done, and so that works really well for me in terms of getting them based. So in terms of having a bit of a closer look at the models themselves, that's in there. The cool things that they've done, which is a change on the elves, because the elves were a bit of a faff to put together, because the big sails that go on the front were a bit random and you just kind of placed them where you thought you should. But what you can see is just where it meets the top, there's a little notch in there. That's where the top of the sail goes. And then just down at the bottom, in the head of the Draken, there's a little notch in there. So quite simply, the sort of blunt end of the sail goes in there, and then the pointy bit goes in the notch at the top, and then you just let the rest of the sail just fall down nicely onto the sail itself. So for instance, on the medium one, actually because of the sort of the tension from the mast onto the front, you can essentially just place it in there and it holds itself in there quite nicely. Clearly once these are all painted up, I'll glue them, but it was just to show you while we're doing it. So that's that. Oh, and also on the small one, they've done it even better. They put a little thing in there so that when it goes in, it just sits nicely against the sail. There's sort of notches in the sail for it to essentially glue onto, and then that fits perfectly with a little notch, which looks a little bit like an air bubble, but it's not. A little notch just in the front there that the front of the sail goes into. So what are the gizzards? Gizzards are, don't shave off the pointy bit at the end of those sails, and that's about it. The only bit which was a little bit weird was there was a little bit of bone. Now the place where I figured it should go is on the back, and I couldn't figure out which way round it went, so I did it, hang on, let's get this focused. I did it that way round purely because if I did it the other way around with them pointing up, they would just snap off so quickly. So I still think they're a little bit delicate, but I'm just going to sort of leave them in there like that. I think that looks quite cool. But no, I'm really happy with how these come out. So that is the starter for my next fleet for Kings of War Armada. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys found the video useful. I'll now go get these painted up, and I'll do a video while I'm painting up on how I'm doing it. I'm just going for a quick and easy scheme this time, just to get them done quickly. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Right guys, take care, stay safe. Bye bye.